He started just singing different things that he knew. On mic, of course, he was listening. Sam was in the control room listening to him. Bill would think of things and ask him if you know so-and-so, and every once in a while Sam would stick his head out and say, hey, you know, sing so-and-so, do you know it? And he'd seem like he knew every song in the world. It didn't matter. And about, I guess around 9:30, 10 o'clock that night, it was still fairly early. And Bill and I both had to go to work the next day, and we was just about ready to hang everything up and go home. When Elvis, he stood up, and to me, looking back on it, was just like it was nervous energy that he stood up and started just banging on the guitar and singing "That's All Right, Mama." And the door to the control room was open. Sam stuck his head out again and said, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "Just goofing around." And he said, "Well, let me hear some more of that. Just get back on mic." So that sounded pretty good. And there we go. That was it. It was a couple of days later that neither Bill or I didn't know that Sam had cut a demo and taken it down. I've heard different stories on that, where that Dewey came to the studio and heard it, but I do know that Dewey had a demo one way or the other and was playing on the air. And instead of just playing it one time, he played it over and over and over his time on the air. And he had actually called and gotten a hold of Elvis's mother that night and asked him to come over. But he was at the Suzor's theater, and as soon as he got home, his mother told him to go down to the radio station. And I think I didn't hear all this, but what I was told, that when he got down there, Dewey told him said, "I want to interview," and he said, "Well, I've never been interviewed." And he said, "Well, no," said, "Just I'll ask you a question, you just answer them, just don't say any cuss words." And but all this time he had the mic open anyway during the whole thing. And then I heard about it probably the next day, I guess it was. And when Sam had called me and said, "You and Bill got to get back in. We've got to have a B-side. We're going to have to release this record because Dewey's already played it, and we're getting calls on it already." And that was the beginning of it. Bill was the one that came up with the B-side, and Bill was sitting straddle of his bass. We was just taking a break, and he was sitting on his bass and started banging on both sides of it and singing "Blue Moon of Kentucky" in falsetto in a high. He was just mocking this, again, with just really nervous energy. And Elvis knew the words, started singing along with him. And Sam come out and said, "Hey, that's it, let's do that one, let's try that one." And that was the B-side. So regardless of what you hear, the whole thing was really an accident to begin with.